Hi everyone, my name is Jen Olson and I am an educator in Aurora, Colorado. And I'm guessing you've probably seen this candy sitting here in front of me. I promise it's not here. I'm not going to eat it in front of you. That's not why I brought it. This candy is here because I want to talk to you about it. The reason I want to talk to you about it is because over the years I have had many students ask me this one question over and over, which is there any candy out there that won't hurt my teeth? How many of you have ever asked for candy and been told, no, you'll ruin your teeth? I've heard that before. And is this true? Well, the answer is kind of a yes and no. And we are going to talk about why that is and dig deeper into a little bit of the science behind candy and tooth decay and what that means. And we're going to start by talking about one ingredient that is in common in many of our favorite candies. And that ingredient is sugar. Now, many people think that sugar is the real cause of tooth decay, that if you eat sugar, your teeth are going to rot and have cavities and so on. To be honest, I thought that too. But I have been doing a lot of research and I have been learning quite a bit. And what I found out is that that is not really true. So here's what I've learned. So first off, we need to know that our mouth is full of bacteria, little germs basically. And it's okay. It's not really gross because we have bacteria all over our body. It's totally normal, I promise. And what happens is that bacteria actually really likes sugar. So the bacteria, when you eat sugar, the bacteria goes to that sugar that usually sticks on your teeth after you eat some candy, and it has a heyday eating it, yum, 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 right? Now, what happens is as it's eating that sugar, they kind of interact together, the bacteria and the sugar, and they create acid, or they kind of make our mouth an acidic environment. And that acid, or acidic environment, is what creates plaque. And plaque is kind of that sticky stuff that ultimately sticks to our teeth. How many of you have been to the dentist and heard them say, wow, got a lot of plaque buildup this visit? I've heard that one too, promise. And they have to scrape and scrape and scrape and scrape. Well, the reason we don't want that plaque to stick on our teeth is because it breaks away at this outer layer of our tooth, which is called enamel. Now, the enamel is a protective layer as well. So if it starts to break away, the inner tooth, and that's the outside we can see, that's our enamel here. If that starts to break away, then the inside of your tooth is exposed, and that's where, the plaque and other germs can get in there and really do the damage that we think about, like the cavities and the tooth decay that you hear about. So, is sugar the real culprit of tooth decay or cavities? Not really the real culprit, it just plays a role in it. So like we said, the bacteria loves to interact with the sugar and eat it all up, and that creates that acidic environment in our mouth, or that acid, which turns into the plaque, which hurts your teeth. So the sugar plays a role. It's maybe not the direct culprit though. Okay. So now back to our favorite candies. How do we know if our favorite candies are going to cause that acidic environment in our mouth if we eat them? Maybe the bacteria won't like them. How do you know if it's going to like them? Well, I have a little experiment that you can try. Very simple, a lot of fun too. All you need is your favorite candy, some baking soda, and some hot water. Now, the baking soda is going to act as the bacteria in your mouth, and the candy is obviously your sugar. And when you put them together in that hot water, you are going to see how they interact. and you're going to look for a reaction. And if there is a reaction, I'm not going to tell you what that is just yet. If there is a reaction, that tells you that you are creating, that reaction is really that acidic environment. So if you see that reaction, there's your acid, which could ultimately turn into plaque, which is going to stick on your teeth and start to break it down, right? So you can kind of gauge how much sugar is in here by how much the bacteria or the baking soda interacts with it. Now, if you want to do that experiment, there will be a link at the end of this video that will take you to it, and you'll learn a little bit more about what the experiment is. Again, all the things that you need and how to do it. Now, let's go back to my original question, which was the one that many students have asked me: is there any candy out there that won't hurt my teeth? And the answer is yes. I want to introduce you to Zollipops. They look just like regular lollipops, and they taste just like regular lollipops. They are pretty good and pretty tasty. But what's different about them? So Zollipops do not have sugar like regular candies. Instead, they are made with some sugar substitutes, or sweeteners is what we also call them. And a couple that are in there include the xylitol and erythritol. And what we have learned over time about those sweeteners is that they are different from sugar, and that bacteria doesn't actually like the sweeteners. It doesn't like xylitol. It doesn't like erythritol. So what happens is when you eat your Zollipop, the bacteria says, I don't really like that. And if it doesn't really like that, it's not going to go stick to your teeth and eat it all up because it doesn't want it. And if it doesn't stick to your teeth and eat it all up, it's not going to create that acidic environment or that acid, right? And if there's no acid, there's nothing to turn into plaque. And if there's no plaque, there's nothing to stick to your teeth to cause that enamel to break down. So your teeth are going to be okay. So enjoy your Zollipops. It's a candy that you can eat that will not hurt your teeth. Enjoy.